You know what I'm getting real tired of? Spending so much goddamn money. My living expenses have gone up. Gas costs more. My electricity is more expensive. But one thing that I do have at least some control over is how much money I spend on food. So today, I meal prepped these 11 dishes for just under $20. It came out to about $1.72 per serving. We've got this banana cinnamon baked oatmeal and these ground beef teriyaki bowls. Took me just under an hour. Here's how I did it. Let's start off with the teriyaki bowls. This is one of those quick and dirty, just get the job done meals. I use bottled teriyaki sauce for a shortcut. And this meal is a zucchini, celery, carrots, onion, rice, oil, garlic, salt and pepper, beef, and teriyaki sauce. For the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this meal, it cost me $14.49, which is about $2.90 per serving. To buy all the ingredients, minus the salt and pepper because I already have that at home, the total cost was $23.48. Next on the menu is the banana cinnamon baked oatmeal. Included in this meal is rolled oats, whey protein powder, baking powder, bananas, maple syrup, egg whites, cinnamon, milk, butter, salt, powdered sugar, and vanilla. The total cost for all the ingredients used in this meal was about $4.42 or 74 cents per serving. The total cost for me to purchase all these ingredients was $106.12, but take that with a grain of salt because the vast majority of that is in the 10 pounds of protein that I bought from Costco months back. Now you obviously don't need to buy 10 pounds of protein at once, and if you just want to buy the amount that you need for this recipe, check out the bulk food section at your grocery store. However, if you want to save money in the long run, buying in bulk is going to help. You know, economies of scale. As I start this prep, it's currently 2:36 p.m. I'm going to jump back and forth between each recipe in order to move as efficiently as possible. To begin, I'm going to start my rice in the rice cooker. I'll need about 5 cups or 750 grams of cooked rice, so I've got 2 cups of dry rice here. I wash it until the water runs clear, get it cooking, and I forget about it until later. Next, I can work on my baked oatmeal. Since this has to bake for 40 minutes, I want to start it early so that I can prep everything else while it's cooking. To a bowl, add 3 medium bananas or 375 grams worth with 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of butter. Microwave this for 30 seconds to a minute until the bananas have softened. If your bananas are already ripe, you can probably skip this step and just melt the butter. While those little bastards are softening, get out a large bowl and add your dry ingredients. 3 cups or 240 grams of rolled oats, 2 scoops or 60 grams of vanilla whey protein powder, 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of baking powder, half teaspoon or 2 grams of salt, and 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of cinnamon. Mix that together until it is well combined. Your bananas will surely have finished in the time it took you to measure out all of your dry ingredients, so pull them from the microwave and mash them with a fork until they are smooth. Again, if your bananas are ripe enough when you start, you won't even need to microwave them. And for the love of all things holy, don't use green bananas to make this. What are you, a crazy person? You might as well just vomit into the bowl because that's practically the same thing. Brown banana, good. Green banana, bad. Yellow banana? You can make it work. Now toss that bowl back onto a scale and add to it 2 cups or 480 grams of milk, 2 tablespoons or 42 grams of maple syrup, 10 tablespoons or 150 grams of liquid egg whites, or 2 whole large eggs, and then your mashed bananas. Mix that together until everything is well combined. Try and make sure there aren't big clumps of banana stuck in the batter. Once everything is mixed in, grab a 13x9 baking dish and spray it with oil. I like to wipe down the sides a bit too in order to make sure that things don't get too sticky. Pour that mixture into the dish and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes or until the center has set. Next, you can make the icing to go on top. Place a small bowl over a scale and add in 1/4 of a cup or 30 grams of powdered sugar, the smallest little pinch of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon or 0.5 grams of vanilla, and 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of milk. Stir vigorously until a glaze is formed. If you need to add a few extra drops of milk, do so, but if you add too much, it won't set when you top the oatmeal. Now for the teriyaki ground beef bowls. To a large skillet over medium-high heat, add half of a tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil and 2 pounds or 908 grams of 90-10 ground beef. Press the beef flat into the bottom of the pan and season lightly with salt and pepper. While that is cooking, you can begin to prep your vegetables. Wash all the vegetables first to prepare you for chopping. This is a stir fry, so you can put in just about whatever vegetables you prefer. I picked the celery, carrots, and zucchini because they are the cheapest that you can buy in my neck of the woods, and that's what I was going for with this video. If you don't like one of the ones that I used, just leave it out or swap it for something else. I hate all these vegetables, but sometimes you just have to suck it up and not be a cry ass. Cut half of a pound or 227 grams of celery into a medium dice on a bias. Do the same with a half a pound or 227 grams of carrots and 1 medium zucchini or 250 grams worth. Next, cut 1 small onion or 150 grams into thin slices, and if you're using fresh garlic, you can cut 4 cloves or 15 grams into a small mince. At some point while you are chopping your vegetables, you'll likely need to tend to your beef, so go back to the pan, flip it over to the other side, and allow it to continue to cook. Once that beef has finished, you can remove it from the skillet and set it aside until later. Add an additional 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil to that skillet, and then throw in the onions, carrots, and celery over medium-high heat. Allow these to go for 2 to 3 minutes to brown and soften up a bit, as well as pick up any of that fond that's stuck to the bottom of the pan that came from cooking the beef. Create some space in the center of your skillet and add another half tablespoon or 7.5 grams of oil, and then dump in your zucchini and 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of minced garlic. After about a minute or two of cooking, add the beef back into the pan and mix everything together. You still want these vegetables to have some bite to them, so don't overcook them. Remember that you're essentially going to be cooking them again upon reheating in the microwave, so if you take them too far at this step, they will be more prone to being mushy come game time during your lunches throughout the week. The last step is to pour over half of a cup or 120 grams of the bottled teriyaki sauce of your choosing. If you really feel compelled to make this yourself, then by all means, go for it. A lot of the bottled stuff is great, so I don't think it's really all that necessary. Mix it in, season with salt and pepper to taste, and this one's ready to plate. At some point around now, your oatmeal will have finished, so you can pull that from the oven. Then you can start plating up your teriyaki ground beef bowls. This recipe is going to make 5 decently large servings, so lay out 5 meal prep containers, and to each container add 1 cup or 150 grams of cooked rice. If you're a lass or a smaller person, or maybe you just want smaller servings, you could easily split this one into 6 meals, or even decrease the amount of rice to 3/4 of a cup or 1/2 of a cup. You can take the contents of your skillet and evenly divide it into each of the meal prep containers. To make it look nice, I sprinkle over some toasted sesame seeds, but that step is completely optional. And now to finish up the oatmeal, you'll need to pipe the icing over the top and cut it. Run a knife around the perimeter of the dish to release the oatmeal from the sides. If your icing has set up a bit and needs some more liquid, add a few extra drops of milk and then stir vigorously. It won't take much liquid at all, so be cautious. If you want to be fancy, you can place the icing into the corner of a Ziploc bag, cut off the corner, and then pipe that icing over the top. If you don't give a shit, just use a spoon and drizzle it across the surface. Cut your baked oatmeal into 6 even pieces and place each piece into a meal prep container. I like to eat these warmed up in the microwave, but many people have told me that they like to eat them cold. Maybe something for you to experiment with. One other thing that I think is nice with these baked oatmeals is to pour some milk over the top after it comes out of the microwave. Now all 11 meals are plated up and the time is currently 3:32 p.m. 56 minutes to prep breakfast and lunches for the work week. The teriyaki ground beef bowls have about 652 calories each with 44 grams of protein. They'll last up to 5 days in the fridge, or you could freeze them and they'll be good for months as long as you keep the air out. The banana cinnamon baked oatmeal has 367 calories each with about 19 grams of protein. These will be good for up to 6 days in the fridge, but I personally don't go more than 5 days, which means that on one day I'll double up. Once the meals have cooled down a bit, you can place the lids on top and move them into your fridge. So again, for the teriyaki ground beef bowls, the total cost for the ingredients that I used was $14.49, or about $2.90 per serving. For the baked oatmeal, the total cost was $4.42, or roughly 74 cents per serving. That makes the total for both meals $18.91. Even in today's climate where we can all feel the impact of rising food prices, it is entirely possible to eat cheaply and control your spending with a bit of planning and prep. Part of saving money on food is to buy things in bulk and to shop sales. Whenever I see meat on sale at the store, I'll stock up and throw the extra in my freezer. For non-perishables like rice, I'll buy a 50-pound bag from Costco that will last me for months. Start small and work up to where you want to be. You can save real, measurable amounts of money by using meal prep. I estimate in my case it's a couple $1,000s per year. Both of these recipes will be linked in the description below, and hopefully they can help any of you who are struggling right now but still want to eat well. See you cats next week. Goodbye.